crew back here be praying for me because I didn't understand why I spoke this message Wednesday night, and I really questioned, Lord, are you sure? Are you sure? But you have to understand how mine and God's relationship is, that He's always told me, go where I tell you to go, speak what I tell you to speak. And then mind you, the skit y'all did, wow. Amazing. So what really kind of dawned on me is, yes, it's kind of the same as what I spoke Wednesday night, but I believe it's what God is saying to the church. And I want to say here tonight, there is nothing. I remember one time, it was actually 10th Leper was, I believe, the band playing when we were meeting outside. And when we were doing the Revelation song, and I looked out there, and man, you guys were just worshiping. And I remember that happened when we were out there, and they just thought, we just listen. Because there's nothing more powerful, I tell this to our church all the time, than when everybody and used to begin to enter in. And when we just began to pour our hearts out to Him. And so, what really dawned on me tonight was what God is really saying to the church. And I'm going to tell you, just the title of this message, I'm like, you sure, God? Because the title of the message is Lover or Prostitute. Lover or Prostitute. And God don't mix words. And I'm not going to, for the sake of time, I'm just going to run through a couple things with you, and then you'll get the gist of it, because this was something, the start of this was something a pastor friend's wife actually had sent the other day, and when I read it, I'm like, wow, because it's exactly, I'm told a message, what the Lord had given me, I journaled what the Lord had given me in 2019. And so when I was sitting here a while ago, all night I've been going, Lord, are you sure? And you guys were, man, y'all were pouring your hearts out, and y'all were ministering, and y'all got to the skid earlier. It hit me. You see, we preach, we've been to prisons, the streets, beautiful things for years. And I got to say something to y'all tonight. What dawned on me right here is we've seen lovers come.
Amen.
The skit you did. See, God says we're all supposed to minister in various forms. And what you have to do and walking y'all through that is exactly what happens even for me as a pastor. You know, sometimes God speaks a word just like tonight. And then the old enemy comes in and wants to put that down in there and you know. But everything you went through with all the things that I believe it's you that they'll give you the message and then everything comes out you, right? But see, that's the way it happens with all of us. Even the best of us. But can I tell you tonight that that's what's wrong with most of the churches today? And that's what God is talking about here. He's addressing all of us. He's addressing His church. Lover or prostitute. Just I'm going to skip through some things real quick, but I want you to get the gist of it, because this is something, when I presented Wednesday night, I know that there was a lot of people that left there really thinking on this. Because a number of years ago, I had the privilege of teaching at a school ministry. My students were hungry for God, and I was constantly searching for ways to challenge them to fall more in love with Jesus and become the voices of a revival for the church. He said, I came across a quote that attributed most often to this certain pastor. It's a short version of the history of Christianity, and it goes like this. Christianity started in Palestine as a fellowship. It moved to Greece and became a philosophy. It moved to Italy and became an institution. It moved to Europe and became a culture. And then it came to America and became an enterprise. Do you guys know what an enterprise is? He said some of my students were only 18 or 19 years old. This is in a Bible college, okay? And I wanted them to understand and appreciate the importance of the last line, so I clarified it by adding, an enterprise, that's a business. After a few moments, Martha, the youngest student in the class, raised her hand. I can only imagine what her question might be. I thought for a little thing that was self-explanatory of what I just said, and that I had delivered it flawlessly. Nevertheless, I acknowledged Martha's raised hand. Yes, Martha, she asked such a simple question. A business? But isn't it supposed to be a body? 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Isn't it supposed to be a body? And what y'all exemplified up here a while ago is a body. We all minister in various forms, and that's what began to hit me when I told my wife, don't pray for me because I don't understand why he told me to bring this tonight. I could not envision where this line of questioning was going. The only response I could think was, yes. And then she said, but when a body becomes a business, isn't that a prostitute? The American church, tragically, is heavily populated with people that don't even know. They have a knowledge of Him, but they don't know Him. What do I mean they don't know Him? It's like this. They have a words on the page knowledge, just like the Pharisees. But they don't have a relationship with Him. They don't operate like 1 Corinthians chapter 12 says. They just have a head knowledge. And when I ask the question about a lover or a prostitute, how can we be so discerning in the things of this world, especially when they involve money, and so discriminate when it comes to spiritual things? How can we tell? We've made the kingdom of God into a business. Merchandising His anointing. We're supposed to be His lovers. How can we love someone we don't? But guys, I gotta say something. I'm questioning this and going, Lord, I know how it fits. When I was speaking the other night, and I got to tell y'all that, we've been coming to Beautiful Feet for years. We've gone into the prisons. I've been in prison 30-something years ago. And one of the things I used to say, I worked in the chapel there, is we'd see the people that came, that they were hungry, and they came for the right reason. And then we've seen those that come to make deals and to see their homies and all of that. And you see it's the same way in the church. But you need to understand something, and that's the times we're in right now. We can tell the weather. We can go outside and see the sun shining or the rain or what. We can tell the weather. Do you understand the times we're in right now? And I've said it for the last several years that God's raising up the true body. And I believe what just to skid y'all in, that ties is the true body. That's the body that God speaks to you and says, go do this, and you fight through it, you push through. Just like Joanna said, you push through all that pain, you push through all that doubt, all that fear, and everything, and you say, yes, Lord, send me. Yes, Lord, I'll do it. Yes, Lord, I'll speak it. No matter what. I don't think you know anymore. You guys did that tonight. And when y'all get the revelations on a minute ago, y'all know me. Man, when I can shut my eyes and just start worshiping because you guys are singing back and you guys are all singing, you hear it, it's like the heavens open up, the angels, and it's just one accord. There may be some of you here tonight that are here. We were sitting back there and I could hear the mother Because as he says, and I ain't got time tonight to read what the guy that wrote this was saying. He said, what I realized is that I used to be a prostitute, but now I'm a lover. I love you guys. Man, I was watching you a while ago. Y'all blessed me. And that's when I go, wow, God, this is your body. This is 1 Corinthians 12. This is the body of unity. See, it doesn't matter. The guys are up here playing, and you guys are pouring out, and you guys are singing. And I got to tell you, man, we've been in churches, and the people that know me know, I speak boldly. It doesn't matter here if I'm in a church of 10,000 or who the pastor is or whatever. If God tells me to tell that pastor something, I'm going to say it to him. And what I'm going to say to you tonight, that you guys are raw and real. And I'm here to tell you tonight that the body of Christ, the true church, needs to stand up. You need to do what you did tonight out there. You need to stand up and you need to show this church out here, these churches that are selling the gospel. You need to show them the true gospel of God. You need to show them the lovers of God. And show them that many of them have prostituted the gospel. But you're here to bring the lovers of Christ. You see, that's what he's looking for. It's lovers of God. Because that's the true body. You know, we've been talking about this in our church for the last couple of years. Broad is the road. Narrow is the gate. But do you read the next line? Only a few find it. For years, I didn't understand. I used to say, God, I don't understand how, when you say that in these days, that only of the elect, that if it were so, the elect could be deceived. And I used to think, how can that be? How can the elect be deceived? Until he gave me a revelation of it. You got to be a lover of God. You got to be hearing his voice. You got to be walking side by side. He says you take 2 steps, turn to the right. Take 2 steps, turn to the left. Otherwise, you're liable to get yourself blown up. Think about the world we're living in, and it really hit me. Lord, the elect are coming. Those that are the elect, that's the true body, are hearing your voice. My sheep hear my voice. Amen. And they follow me. I understood sitting here a few minutes ago. Okay, God, now I understand. Because honestly, I was arguing with him. Lord, why do you want me to bring a message tonight called lovers, or are you a lover or a prostitute? And my question to all of you tonight is, are you a lover or are you a prostitute? Are you here for what you can get out of it? Or are you here because you're in love? Are you here that you come to say, Lord, I need you. I can't do this alone. Just like Joanna shared. And I was in the same place. We had something happen last week. I was wiped out. But I can tell you, he'll never fail. God has told me so many times, son, I hold you by your right hand. He'll never leave you nor forsake you. So I'm here tonight to tell you, the churches, see, not all these buildings are churches. They need to see, and they need to see the true gospel. They need to see the true body. They need to see lovers of God. Amen. Prostitutes. And all of y'all have exemplified that tonight. I love that skit. Yes. That's right. That's right. And that's what I've seen tonight. I thought about all the years we've been covenant, and I thought, wow, God. Now I know why you want to bring this. Look at what's going on tonight. You guys are ministering. Somebody come down here and walk off and something. Y'all need to get up there. What did y'all do? Y'all come right down. I don't know who this guy was, but you're here to pray for him. You see, that's what it is. Like he said, you don't have to have pastor on your name, you know. Just do what he tells you to do. Amen? Praise God. Dear Heavenly Father, once again, don't ever question God when you give a word. And Lord, tonight I'm just so blessed. I'm touched tonight. Because your word is true. We're to be lovers. You're lovers, Father. And Father, tonight I just pray. I pray over each and every one of these here tonight. These mighty young men and women of God, Father, that have a boldness and a hunger for you, Lord. These, Father, that are all here, those and toes and arms and legs. And Father, it takes all that are lovers of you to make up the body. So I'm saying to you tonight, I pray, Lord, a blessing upon them. I pray the spirit of boldness on them. That, Father, when you speak to them, they hear your voice, and you get into boldness just to go speak or do whatever you call them to do. Father, tonight I ask you to bless this food that they're about to partake of, to the nourishment of your body and to thy glory. In Jesus' mighty name. If there's any of you that need prayer for anything, prayer team, I need you up here now. We'll be up here to pray with you. But you'll release them.